Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Stella. I make light-hearted content all about my life with chronic illness and disability, and I share and spread awareness and all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the video. How do we possibly know if we're having a flare-up or we're going through something serious that we need to see a doctor for? Now, this can be so hard when you're dealing with multiple chronic illnesses and disabilities and the symptoms start to overlap and then you get so confused. This was one of the most difficult things that I had to learn to distinguish when I first became chronically ill and disabled. So I thought perhaps it might help some of you who are at the beginning of your journey or who perhaps are very much into your chronic illness journey, but maybe you can relate to some of this yourself. The first one is temperature regulation. Now, when I'm about to have a flare up, I am either sweating uncontrollably, like I'm not even hot, but I'm just sweating to the point where it's dripping down my face. I've got sweat patches, really I've got that prickly heat, you know, where it's just like itchy, or I'm shivering to the point of I can't get warm. My mum was so confused by that the other day. She had the heating on full blast. She was wearing shorts. We were sitting in the living room. I had blankets upon blankets. I was shivering. I was so cold. I couldn't get warm. It is just a constant battle of trying to regulate your temperature. That is the first warning sign when I know I'm having a flare-up. I am hungry all the time. When I'm having a flare-up, I specifically crave potatoes and salty foods. Now that's probably because of my POTS, and salt tends to help with POTS flare-ups, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, for anyone who's wondering what POTS is. It's a type of dysautonomia. Or I crave really sugary things, and in particular gummies, especially when I'm fatigued. When I'm feeling really fatigued, all I want is sweets and sugar and gummies and chocolate and all the bad foods, and then I eat them and then I want more. Or I'll have half an hour of not eating, then I want to eat some more. And I'm like, why am I still hungry? Every time I get into that state of I'm just feeling hungry all the time, Chris knows that I'm having a flare-up. Chris is my husband, by the way. He's behind the camera. Thank you, hon, for helping me to film. How bad am I when I'm having a flare-up with my hunger?
Yeah, very bad.
And I specifically want large portions of potatoes, don't I?
Chips.
Chips. Oh, you don't share your chips with me, okay? When I'm having a flare-up. Or on the flip side, I get really bad nausea and sickness, and then I don't feel hungry at all. Like I could go hours without feeling hungry, or I just forget to eat, which is brain fog essentially. So if I'm having a flare-up, I'm more likely to have brain fog. Therefore, I'm gonna forget to eat, or my body's just not gonna tell me that I'm hungry. So it goes either way, and on those cases, Chris usually has to text me to remind me to eat and drink, or if he's around, he'll be like, I think you should have something now, hon. So either end of the spectrum, I'm either starving to the point of feed me now, or I just don't eat. The next one is irritability. I didn't even know I was irritable when I'm having a flare-up until Chris told me. I will argue with Chris for no reason, have a go at him because I think he's shouting at the cat. All of a sudden, he can't do anything right. He should have taken the bins out. He should have cooked that better. He should have closed that door. He shouldn't be humming. Stop singing. Oh, why are you listening to that radio station? Everything gets on my nerves to the point where I start tiny little arguments with him, and I'm not even embarrassed to say it. Do you want to chip in on that, Chris? Or you trying to do the husband points right now?
Yeah.
You know that husband points will go down. I'm just like so frustrated with you today, hon, that I think I need a new crystal. I saw one on Etsy for about £200. Can you get it for me?
Yeah. How many crystals are there?
I don't have many. But because I'm aware of it now, if I feel myself being a bit more irritable than usual, I'll just say to Chris, like, "Hon, I'm not feeling great today. If I'm irritable or if I'm snappy with you, that's why. Please don't take it to heart." Because before we kind of figured out that irritability, snappiness, mood changes and stuff like that were a part of flare-ups, we were getting into arguments, and that's not good for any relationship whatsoever. So irritability and mood swings are a huge one. Another symptom of flare-ups is needing to go to the toilet more often than you would normally, or not going to the toilet at all. Now, this is probably a bit too much TMI, but when I'm having a flare-up, I am going pee all the time. Like sometimes every half an hour, once an hour. If I drink water, oh, it increases even more. So peeing a lot more frequently. And then there's the whole needing to wake up in the night to go pee, which can be so annoying. But I know if I'm peeing so much that day, then I know I'm having a flare-up. But of course, on the flip side, not being able to pee is another one. Not being able to pee is actually quite common with EDS. We can often find it hard to use the toilet. You're pushing to go pee and you can't go pee. And I experience that myself sometimes. But thankfully, it's not one of my worst symptoms and I don't get it a lot. But for some people, not being able to pee is so bad to the point that they cry because they can't go to the toilet. And then of course you've got the backside toilet part. Sorry guys, but this is a light-hearted channel. And look, these are not things to be embarrassed about. I get the runs and I actually have to take medication to regulate that. And now I'm on a different medication that stops me from going toilet. And I'm going toilet like once every 5 days. So I've now had to take a drink so that I can go toilet once a day. And oh, is it a problem to sort out the toilet area? But I know my issues are not serious. The only way I know they would be serious if that wasn't normal for me, or there was like blood in my stools or in my pee or something like that, or if it was stinging or painful when you go, that's when it's serious. But if it's more frequent or less frequent, that's a sign of a flare-up. Another thing I noticed when I'm about to have a flare-up is I become extremely sensitive to light and extremely sensitive to sound. Now, being chronically ill, there are certain sounds and certain types of lights that irritate me in general. I have photophobia. But when I'm having a flare-up, I can't even have the curtains open. I have to shut the curtains. Chris hates it because he likes having daylight. Hon, it's like really sunny today. Can you please shut the curtains?
It's even nighttime, yeah.
I know, but it's too bright.
Oh.
Thanks. But if I'm having a migraine or I'm feeling dizzy or nauseous, I can't have the curtain open. So I know if I'm really sensitive to light or sound, I'm having a flare-up. I can't stand the sound of running water when he's doing the washing up. I can't stand the sound of the washing machine. I can't stand the sound of cleaning plates. Ah! Oh my God, that noise. Or if someone chews, oh, the sound. Somehow my senses are heightened when I'm having a flare-up. I hear everything. I hear the neighbors outside. I hear the dog barking next door. I hear the cars going past. Every noise irritates me. So if you're feeling particularly sensitive to noise or light, those are two very clear signs that you're having a flare-up. The only time that it could be serious is if you physically feel pain in your ears or pain in your eyes. That's when it's potentially time to get help. Ringing in the ears could be another sign. I myself get ringing in my ears when I flare up in general, so I know it's a common symptom for me. But if it's a new symptom to you, ringing in the ears might be something you need to explore with your doctor and get checked out. And the last one I want to talk about is getting new pains and feeling extra fatigued. Now, I've put them together because honestly, pain and fatigue goes hand in hand. I don't know anyone who's chronically fatigued who doesn't have fibromyalgia or vice versa. Like, the two just go together. At least what I've witnessed from the chronic illness community space that I'm in. And yeah, you have some days that are better than others, but when I'm flaring up, I actually even get rashes, I get sores, I get redness around certain joints, which then means that my body has to fight harder to do its daily tasks. So then I get really fatigued, I'm tired. Like if I just have to get up to go to the toilet, I'm sliding around on my crutches. If I have to go up the stairs, I'm like sliding up the stairs on my butt, doing one stair at a time. It can be a nightmare. Me having lupus, if I start to get an itchy face, like for me in particular, if my face starts to get itchy, I know I'm having a lupus flare up, because with lupus you get a butterfly rash underneath your eyes here, on the top of your cheeks, on your forehead and on the bridge of your nose. That's why it's called a butterfly rash. And so if I start getting itchy here, then I know I'm getting a lupus flare up. Anything else could be anything. It could be my lupus, it could be my EDS, as I mentioned. Things start to overlap, and a lot of conditions, the reason why they're hard to diagnose is because they have similar symptoms. So that's just something to bear in mind. Chronic illness and disability is a serious thing. So if you feel something is new in your body, you've got a new pain, you've got a new rash, you've got a new toilet habit, something feels different to what you're used to, then please go and seek help from your GP, or if it's really serious, like you're bleeding or something like that, or you can't catch your breath, please go and seek help. Like I know my POTS is flared up if I start coughing a lot, because if I'm having a POTS flare up, my blood isn't circulating around my body properly, therefore my heart can't pump the blood around, and therefore I'm not getting a sufficient amount of air. And that means that I need to then take an asthma pump. So I know if I start coughing a lot, I'm feeling like it's really difficult to breathe, I know I'm having a flare up, as well as, you know, feeling dizzy and the usual sign of POTS as well. So that's just something to bear in mind. If you are going for a flare up, please just be gentle on yourself. Rest as much as you can. I know that's not always possible. Do all the things you love, like watch your favorite shows, eat your favorite foods, talk to family and friends if you can speak. Just be gentle on yourself and know that when you're having a flare up, it feels like the worst thing ever, and sometimes it feels like you're dying, but know that things will get better. That's what I always try to tell myself. I'm like, right now, this feels like the worst thing in the world, but it will get better. I try to occupy myself with funny videos. I love owl and cat videos. They always make me laugh. So things like that can be really light-hearted and good for the mind. I also love distraction. Horror and thrillers are really good for distraction. I told that to my Lyme literate doctor, and she said that when you're in suspense, your body is suspenseful with what's going on. Therefore, it doesn't focus on pain and fatigue as much, because your brain is linked to your body and they work in tandem. So it's quite an interesting concept, because when I said that to her, she said it's a very common thing with people who have chronic illness and disability. But just know that you are loved. I see you, I feel you, and we are in this together. Let me know, was this helpful? Is this something you can relate to? Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.